Great.
Okay. All right. I'm Olivia Breidenthal, and I am here with Becky Tracy, a wonderful fiddle player from Wild Asparagus, Nightingale, and Eloise and Company. Becky and I are going to be doing kind of a short interview for FolkWorks, just talking about folk music and fiddle and contradance and all of that great stuff. Hello, Becky.
Hi, nice to see you.
um, I wanted to start with just kind of the basic question that everyone always wants to know. What would you say is the inciting event that kind of snowballed into you becoming a folk musician?
Okay, so I think, I thought of several things. Like I thought about the first time I sat in with a band that was playing for my dad as he was calling when I was about 16. And I thought, oh, that could be the time. But then I realized that really it was all about actually quitting my job. I quit my job. I used to be a math teacher, and I decided I was gonna try this music thing that I'd been having more and more fun every summer playing. And so I just kind of stepped out without knowing what was going to happen. And there was this weekend in a January, I think it was in 1993, when Jeremiah and Keith decided we're going into New York City. They needed a place to stay on the way because they didn't want to stay in the city. They were nervous boys about staying in the city. So they stopped at my house and we played really late into the night. Then they went off and did their gig. I went off and did a gig, and then they came back and they said, "Hey, we happen to need a fiddle player for something." And so in that year, when I knew nothing about what I was going to do, I had no band. I was driving ridiculous numbers of miles for ridiculously little money. And then they popped into my life. And I was so lucky. And months later, I auditioned for Wild Asparagus. So within that year, I ended up with kind of my musical life for the next 18 years. And then it's shifted since then a little bit. So
Wow.
that's kind of, that was kind of the thing that just kind of
Mhm.
made it go.
That's so perfect. Like I feel like so many people either plan to or actually, leave the job that they were doing to become a musician. And So to find the projects that you were going to stick with, in that year is that's really cool. That's awesome. Um,
Kind of amazing. It's amazing that I didn't have them before it started, and it's amazing that it happened within that year.
yeah,
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 I felt lucky.
yeah. I feel like every musician hopes for that. You hope for that quick transition, that the quick, smooth landing to the other side. So
Yep.
that's awesome. Um, do you have a favorite venue or a place that you like kind of look back on fondly? Um,
Yeah. So I do have, of course, there's a number of them, but because I'm talking to you and you're in California, there there was an event, there was a venue that just appeared. And this has sort of been happening lately with these lawn concerts that I've been doing, where these venues are appearing out of nowhere. People are offering their lawns for us to play because that's a safe place to play. And it's really
like currently, that's happening.
currently that's what's happening. So
Oh,
the story in Santa Cruz, California, Nightingale was out there a very long time ago. It was one of our early, I think might have been our first trip to California.
Mhm.
And we were playing, maybe it was a dawn dance kind of thing or a big late night dance thing. And at the dance, somebody said, "Hey, will you do a house concert tomorrow?" And we're like, "Sure."
Okay.
So at the dance, they announced the house concert. And so we arrived at the house the next day, and it
Uh-huh.
was a teeny little house in Santa Cruz, and people were crammed in there. And it was just one of the most magical experiences. And people still come up to me when I'm in California and say, "I was at that particular event."
Oh
That house
my
concert,
gosh.
I was there because it was just there was you know how some things just turn into a magical event and you have no
Mhm.
control over that at all, really. And that was one of them.
Yeah, you hope for that. You hope that that's going to be the magical event when you're starting something, when you're setting up the gear and everything.
Right.
That's amazing.
Right.
That
Yeah.
so did
Yeah.
so the house concert just was spontaneous, and were you guys just like, we're gonna go with a set list, or were you calling tunes as it went, or
I believe because I know who we are, I think we had a set list.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the energy in the room was really phenomenal. And I think
Mm,
that had to do with the last minute. It was a community kind of event. So all these people kind of knew each other and they were all coming together.
yeah,
Um, I think all those aspects of it were
yeah,
part of what made it really special.
that's awesome. And you said you were at a dawn dance?
I think I'm not exactly sure what it was. If it was some special dance in Santa Cruz, and I'm not
I
sure.
I've never heard the term dawn dance. I mean, I've played contra dances for a couple years, but I've never heard the term dawn dance. What is that?
Okay, well, I have to let you in on something because I live in the sort of the capital of the Dawn Dance.
Oh,
So there's a Brattleboro, well, there was a Brattleboro Dawn Dance that,
okay,
and at one point it happened every time there was a Monday holiday.
okay,
It would happen and it would also happen on New Year's. But now it only happens twice a year, so or it did Labor Day and Memorial Day. And what it is on that Sunday before the Monday holiday, it's an all-night dance. Starts at 8 p.m. and goes all night long. And in the morning, when dawn happens, they turn off the lights and you're dancing to the light coming in the windows.
oh my gosh,
It's
that's
awesome.
beautiful.
It's really beautiful and it's really hard on your body.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but yeah, I haven't gone and done an entire dawn dance
hmm.
for a very long time, let's say.
That have you been both the musician and the dancer at a dawn dance?
Absolutely.
And which one is more taxing? Which one is the more intense role?
Well, there is the thing called the graveyard shift,
Okay.
which is the 3:30 a.m. until it's time to leave shift.
Okay.
That's
Hmm.
pretty that's pretty taxing on me. Some
Hmm.
people thrive on that. Um, if you're a dancer, you have that momentum thing going
Yeah.
as
Okay.
long as you don't stop.
Okay. Yeah. You can't slow down, or else you notice that
Yeah,
it's 4 in the morning.
yeah, exactly.
Wow. That's so cool. I am just now learning this during this interview. I love that. Um, so you have, like I mentioned before, a couple of projects going on. I think it's been a year now since you released Golden, right?
Right. So
Or
wait a second. Yeah, it's been a year and a bit because we released it in February of 2020.
February of
So right before
2020?
the pandemic, we released it. Yep.
Okay, so closer to 2 years. Um,
Yep. A year and a half.
so what do you think kind of spurred the beginning of that being an album? Like, had you planned on it being an album, or was it like, well, we have a group of tunes and maybe, these would work together, or kind of, yeah, how did that become a thing?
Well, so it was kind of, as you say, we did have the work that we did have the tunes, but we've had tunes like this for a long time, and we had never done a duo recording.
Okay.
So Keith had done a number of solo recordings. I had done a solo recording. We did the recordings that we had 4 recordings with Nightingale,
Hmm.
but we had never said we're going to put out a duo recording. So we decided it was time to honor the two of us
Yeah.
and our music together because we've played together for a really long time. So and to feature like both songs and tunes, like instead of the my thing being the tunes and Keith's thing being the songs, we decided to do what we do when we
Hmm.
concertize. Um, so that was the idea.
Oh, and why is it called Golden?
It's called Golden because you probably have experienced that. What are we going to call this recording? Where is the name going to come from?
Hmm.
And so the first thing we always do when we're looking for the title is we scan through all the tunes that are on the recording.
Okay.
And I had written a tune called Golden that is on the recording when I was in Golden, Colorado, like years and years ago.
Hmm.
So we thought that's kind of appropriate. It's kind of like we've been doing this a long time. It's not like 50 years, it doesn't mark any, anniversary like that, but it's just sort of, it's been around a long time. Golden has like this kind of beautiful hue. We love that idea.
Yeah.
So we went with that.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, it's a great album. I think because of the pandemic, I keep thinking it's recent because 2020 was not like very little and
Yeah.
also very much happened. And so I keep thinking it's like a recent thing also because I keep going back and listening to it. But do you have any upcoming projects?
Huh. In fact, uh,
Oh,
Rachel and I just went into the studio about a month ago and we
mhm,
recorded. So this is Eloise and Company. Rachel's an accordion player, Rachel Bell. And we recorded an album of ball folk music. So
mhm.
this is music where you could put this album on and have your own ball folk party. That's the idea. Or cleaning party or whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
But it's all this dance music
Mhm.
um, from France, Brittany, and the Auvergne region. And it's like that kind of event that has kind of been growing the ball
Mhm.
folk scene. Of course, not over the pandemic, but before that.
That's exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
Um, did you guys decide on a name yet?
Yes, that one was easier. Again, it's the name of a tune, and it's a
Uh-huh.
tune that Rachel wrote called "Bottle This Stuff." And she wrote the tune. The original title of the tune was Eloise rehearsal induced euphoria. Wish I could bottle this stuff. So I said to her, Rachel, that's just too long. You can't call a tune that.
Yeah.
And so we called it Bottle This Stuff. So that's what the name of the album will be.
Oh, bottle this stuff. That's so good. I am super looking forward to that. That's going to be something I put on for my cleaning parties. um, well, thank you so much, Becky, for doing this with me. It's always really fun to get to catch up and talk to you. And yeah,
Great. Nice to chat with you and wish you all the best and to all the people at FolkWorks too.